Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. Bloomberg.com has a piece that I found extremely important to go over, considering what is causing it. The heroin business is booming in America. Cartels boost profits as painkiller supplies tighten up. This has been a problem now for quite some time, and the problem is not what you think it is. Jenna Smilek is reporting on this. As on a drizzly May afternoon, a man in gray sweatpants and a black Bengals hoodie sold a half gram of heroin for $70 in a dingy market on the west side of Cincinnati. The buyer was a plainclothes police officer. The seller was promptly handcuffed. The bust was the first of two that team of local police would have make on that Thursday, and one of several heroin-related cases across their radio. 3 people overdosed, and another was caught driving under the influence. Compared with some days in the district, it was pretty slow. Heroin has become so pervasive in cities such as Cincinnati and so profitable for the cartels that supply it that even cops admit the sporadic arrests they make have little effect. Quote, "It's really not going to make any impact out on the street," said Detective Brandon Connolly, speaking of in the damn parking lot outside the market. Quote, "Everybody and their mom sells drugs these days. There's always somebody right there to pick back up." Let me stop there. First of all, this is the whole reason why Prohibition never works. It never will, because people will inevitably get what they're looking for one way or the other. And it depends on how you want things to go, as far as whether or not, the black market profits from it, whether or not big pharma profits from it, whether or not people can grow this stuff in their backyard and be able to make their own home remedies. It doesn't matter what. All I can say is that we have generated this and caused this problem with street drugs killing thousands and thousands of people. And how did it happen? Well, it's very simple. The first thing is we have to go after the problem. The problem is there are millions of people in this country that suffer from chronic pain. Whether it be back pain, whether it be pelvic pain, whether it be shoulder pain, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people out there that suffer from it. And the problem is, over time, it has been undertreated. And I know that they say, well, there was a big pill boom in the 90s and into, up to 2011. And you could say that, but then again, you can't, because what's happened now is so many people have become dependent on these medications just to maintain a sliver of a quality of life that they may have once had. And now that ability is being taken away from them to adequately treat their pain. So what happens? They have to go to the street in most cases, which is sad, considering that the remedy and or at least help is available, but now that's cut off. Why? Because people abuse things. Because it ended up being a cheaper way of getting it from the doctor than it was from the street. Well, now it's gone full circle. Only now the people that it hurts the most are those that actually legitimately need it, that are in chronic pain. And it's become an absolute, you want to talk about epidemic. Pain in this country is epidemic. Chronic pain. Pain is one of the most misunderstood things out there in medicine today. There's no way to measure how much pain somebody's in, how much suffering there is. So they give you a 1 to 10 type of thing. But now you go into emergency room these days and you're in legitimate pain and you say, well, look, I need some relief. They end up looking at you like you're a pill popping junkie, even though you may not be. It's gotten to be that bad, that taboo, when really the solution is simple. Legalize it. Legalize it. And give people a place to go where they can go and have their heroin if they want it and need it. And do so with Narcan around, perhaps, so that should there be some sort of accident that they can recover from it. Because, I mean, what good is it if somebody dies from it, especially if they're contributing members of society? I mean, look at D.C. You telling me that everybody in that non-representing House of Representatives and in the Senate and everywhere else and all their support staff, you're telling me that there's no drug culture in D.C.? Get out of here. The only difference is they can afford it. And they maintain themselves on it. Albeit they're running this country into the ground, they still go about and are contributing, quote unquote, members of society. All I'm saying is Prohibition has done nothing but feed a black market and allow our black ops, the CIA, to basically ship this stuff into our country and then utilize it to imprison people, send them to the private prison industrial complex, keep that fed, give them cheap labor, make cheap goods and sell it for a premium, and keep a steady stream of that going for a long time. Meanwhile, go after the low-hanging fruit. Don't go after the cartels. I mean, God forbid you actually go after the cause of probably some of that, or go after the CIA itself. But instead, go after people in wheelchairs and people walking with canes that are just trying to survive, just live their life each day without blowing their brains out. And believe me, thousands upon thousands of people each year do so because they can't live with the pain that they're constantly in. So it's not an easy answer, but it's one that I think would definitely move things in the right direction. End prohibition. Prohibition has never worked, and it never will. Let people do what they want with their own body, because it's their property at the end of the day. And no one, my friends, knows what's best for you except you. So do the research, make the decisions, and treat yourself. Can't do much worse than the garbage coming out of the medical schools these days. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's news shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day.